Well, pretty much when we first started, there were two projects really. One was to create a show car, a piece that communicated the core essence of the box and what the box was going to promise to the market. At the same time, parallel to that path, we were also exploring the final design of the box. And of course, with that comes a lot of engineering, a lot of requirements. I looked at a lot of very industrial type architecture, such as nuclear power plants, machines that actually do atom crashing. A lot of those designs came into the creation of the Chrome X. We wanted a trophy, something that says, hey, look at this cool thing we're going to build. The Chrome X was the original spirit of the Xbox. When we start working on the design of the box, we really start with the basic concept of no idea is a bad idea. Went to the copy room, got bundles of 500 sheets of paper, probably 4 or 5 bundles of it. So imagine thousands of sheets of paper, black pen, and a Microsoft proprietary stamp, and lots of food, lots of drinks. We took a lot of magazines. We bought over $1,000 worth of magazines. Cut out what we believe to be a trend, the trend of a snapshot of that day, and then place it against a matrix that eventually will be measurements for every design that we do for Xbox. In this case, it was a matrix between intelligent and whimsical, and on the other axis is engineered versus sensual. We basically took what we learned from over 5,000 gamers. It really helped us just focus really quickly down to the final design that it needed to be. When you think about a game console, where it lives in your home, it lives in the center of your living room, on the floor. Why is that? We had a usability expert that took us into many gamers' homes around the world. You go into somebody's home, instantly look at and jot down notes as to where does it sit? Where does a game console sit? Does it sit underneath the TV, on the left or right, on top of? That helps us get a lot of really kind of non-influence data. We took measured distance between a television to most gamers' posture, where they sit when they play games. It's actually more than 6 feet, which is a traditional game console cord length. It actually is about 9 feet, 10 feet or so. So from that, we derived 3 meters, which is about 9 and a little more than 9 feet of cable for our controller, which really would increase the user experience. Form was a luxury. Form was something that we absolutely wanted to communicate the core brand value and the brand promise that we have to the customer, which is the ultimate gaming experience. And how do you communicate that through form on the outside? It's a balance that I had to play.
And at the same time, we're really taking a no-holds-barred approach to building the console. We wanted to make no compromises at any step of the design. So when it came time to make a decision, do we spend the extra money and do we include the extra height and weight of a hard drive, we said, what's the right thing for gamers? And the gaming experience is going to be better with a hard drive in every box, so we made that decision to include it. And then we look back to the design group to make sure that that's all being pulled together in the most elegant package that's the simplest for users to get access to all of that power.
In a lot of ways, I had to mimic the language of the box, but yet the box is a very square thing. So how do you translate that? How do you translate this energy that's around this jewel into the shape that looks like it's just... We actually had users in the lab in which we give it to them, they touch it, they go, oh no, this is not high enough, or this is getting in the way. So I or somebody else would go down to the shop, shave it off with a piece of sandpaper, come back and say, what do you think about this now? And then they're saying, yeah, that's feeling better, but now this is cutting my hand. So you bring it back again. So there's a lot of back and forth process in which it's almost like a bar of soap, right? Lots of ways. The more you shape it, the more comfortable it gets.
We took a lot of Horace's aesthetic and human factor design and took that to game developers and said, look, what kind of things do you just want to go crazy on and do in your games, and what kind of controller do you need to be able to work with those games? So they're going to be building games with much more advanced character movement and control. So they needed things like 6 buttons on every single controller. A lot of games wanted to be able to count on advanced vibration. So we went ahead and made sure that every single Xbox controller had advanced vibration capabilities, just because it gives a more real, more immersive gaming experience to every single person that plays a game on Xbox.
The true story behind why Xbox is green is because I always carry a marker with me, and I happened to have a green marker in my pocket on the day that I was sketching, and I didn't have any other colors. Even my boss came in and said, Horace, you gotta see more than just green. You can't just sketch everything in green. Next thing you know, we took it to game developers, showed them controllers, showed them box, and you know, these sketches I had, and next thing you know, Xbox became green. When a group of us got together, sat down, and talked about what the Dash can be and cannot be, we had the ideas of, you know, this being an ecosystem in a lot of ways. That once you're in it, you're very familiar where you're going, but yet you never get lost. And also having a sense of this kind of, you know, we always talked about Xbox having a certain kind of secret sauce. What would it be if you dive into the secret sauce and seeing the different, you know, different parts of it and different molecules of it? That's a lot of it that came out of that. I think the design actually resonate that quite a bit.
It's dripping with the secret sauce, there's no doubt about it. You're really seeing a reflection of what we think is possible with the box in pretty much every aspect of the Dash's design, right? We know that we wanted to make it 3D, we wanted to have a look of complexity but an ease of navigation to it. We knew that we wanted to have a series of animations in it, all of which are very smooth and fluid and guide you through the experience. There was a lot we could do that was beyond what people think of as traditional. Game soundtracks, custom soundtracks, are probably one of the best examples of that. It gives us a great opportunity to allow gamers to put an audio CD into the drive, pick the tracks that they want as part of their custom soundtrack, actually rip that soundtrack to the hard drive, and when they play games, if a game supports custom soundtracks, in the game they'll just say which of their custom soundtracks they want to use, and that music will be playing in the background of the game, which is pretty cool. I definitely think it's about power, and the most important aspect of that power to me is when people buy an Xbox, they take it into their living room and turn the box on, and they're amazed. They can't believe what they're seeing. They didn't think it was possible. They play the game for a few hours and they start calling friends and they're gonna say, you aren't gonna believe what I just did on this Xbox in my living room.
Well, gaming is an escape. It's fantasy. It's like going to the movies, shutting the lights out, being able to focus on something, having a story told to them. Well, except this is that times 10.
That's what it's really all about.